Hey everybody, welcome back to Shooters Gotta Shoot. I am your host, Erica Spera, and I have a very fun episode today with my buddy Oscar, Aydin. We go over the book, Sex Tips for Straight Women from a Gay Man. This was kind of a cultural phenomenon. It blew up, became a Broadway show, currently tours all over the country, and I actually had a good friend give me this book, telling me I needed to read it, that she has had zero complaints from the tips in this book. So I got my gay friend Oscar on to validate, agree or disagree with what this man wrote. So before we get to that, guys, as always, if you're enjoying the show, there's a few ways you can help us out. You can tell a friend, that's free. You can leave a review, that's free. Or if you have a little cash, join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/ShootersGottaShoot, and you should join. My ex joined. How about that? That's exciting. I ripped him a new one, so go listen to that. Patreon.com/ShootersGottaShoot. And without further ado, I got to get to our guest this week. You might have seen him on BBC America or Bravo Television. He has the podcast called Oh, Oscar. It's my buddy, Oscar Aydin. Woo-hoo!
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
What's shaking? What's happening?
Oh, you know, nothing. Just
I love
hanging in there.
this. This is great. I love this. I love being pulled in as the gay friend. I love it.
I mean, I can't have a straight man go over this. This is tips from a gay man. I needed you.
Well, you know what? You know what you could do is you'll have me, and then you could take everything that I say, write it down, and then compare it to what a straight guy says.
Exactly. That's basically what we're going to do. I'm going to run some of these tips by you.
I love it.
Because some stuff in here, as much as I've done research for this pod, I had not heard before.
Okay, so is this, first off question for you, is this tips from a gay man for women, like from a gay man who's been with women, or is it just gay men?
So he has surveyed men in general in the book, but it's a gay man that has only been with men. So it's basically his sex tips that he thinks straight women don't know. So I was going to ask you, as a gay man, what are some things you think straight women don't know about men?
I love it.
No, I'm asking you right now.
Oh.
Do you have any tips? Any secrets you want to share?
I would say do research and find out where things are. Because what's funny is I just watched a video where almost all of the men interviewed could not find where the clitoris was.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like at this point, everyone's on TikTok. They should know. I feel like that's like every third TikTok I see.
Is that TikTok or is that OnlyFans?
No, I don't know. I feel like TikTok is like ripping men apart of just like, how do you not know where the clitoris is? I feel like it's like every punchline now. No matter what you read, no matter what you do, no matter what you see. But I'm like, now if you don't know, it's like, come on, man.
See, that's funny is that it's taken heterosexuals a teeny bopper app to find out where the correct sexual.
Yeah, you got to dance around to teach people.
Right, exactly. Whereas gays kind of been just knowing how to do things for years.
Yeah. Well, did you ever research yourself?
Here's the thing. Like, my parents never taught me about the birds and the bees because they probably looked at me and they were like, he's never going to have sex.
When I was need to know about the birds and the birds?
because I was like, I had a unibrow and hairy shoulders when I was growing up, so I'm pretty sure they were like, he's not gonna get laid, so we don't have to tell him. But I actually kind of figure out how to do things by watching just gay porn.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I figured out how to do things.
And do you feel like that really helped you?
Yeah, like it really helped me figure out what things were. Like I mean, here's the thing, like as straight guys would say, I knew I loved dick. Straight guys, they know they love they love the whatever you people call it. But I knew it. So I was like, no matter what, I'm going to dive in. And I think there's a difference because like, I don't know a lot of women who love dick.
That's what I was just about to say.
Like, I don't know a lot.
I've only dated men, but I wouldn't go, I love dick. I'm
right.
Like,
but see, men love pussy. Like they love it.
Yeah.
And so no matter what, whether they fail consistently, they're gonna keep trying. Whereas gay men do the exact same thing. Where we're like, well, you know, I'm gonna try. And that's, I think, inevitably what happens is you just try and then you figure out what works. And then eventually you'll make someone orgasm somehow. Some way.
I feel like what you're hinting at is, I feel like the biggest thing I've learned since doing this pod is all men are just enthusiasm with it.
Oh, yeah.
Just if you're into it, even if the skill is not that great, you being into it puts it at another level.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, think of it as A for effort. You know, if you're not going to do it, at least do it A for effort, right?
Okay.
Like, if you don't understand the assignment, as long as you're excited about doing it, I'm happy. Whereas if you don't know how to do the assignment and then you're also like, meh, then why'd you come to class?
True. Very true. That's the Middle Eastern background in you right there. You were like, we take education seriously.
Oh, educate. Yes, my friend.
Okay, so I briefly talked to you about this book. We were hanging out at the stand, having a good time. And before I even told you anything from this book, you gave me, I don't know if you'd call it your #1 blowjob tip or your move.
Oh,
do you want to share that with the fans?
I remember that. So I think my #1 blowjob tip is gum.
Gum.
Use gum before you go down on a man. For the ladies, you chew a bunch of gum. You just chew it. You get the juices flowing in your mouth, and then you just spit it out and go to town, because that will create extra saliva. And some guys, you know, they like a little extra saliva. Now, I'm not saying turn it into like Hurricane Katrina, but what I am saying is maybe give it a little bit of a, you know, a Hoover Dam.
All right.
Yeah.
Gum, though. Not a mint, because I looked this up.
No, because gum actually creates more saliva in your mouth when you start chewing it.
Really?
Whereas mints are kind of like,
Okay, there's weirdly 2 things I thought of when you first told me this. I weirdly read some like survival book, or I was playing a game, and there was a question of like, if you're dehydrated in the woods, what should you do? And the correct answer was suck on a pebble. And it keeps like your mouth, I don't know, hydrated, something like that.
Probably because there's salt in it.
Yes, something about it or whatever. But sucking on something, whatever, it'll make you less thirsty. But the other part was I've heard of people doing mints, both for saliva, but also there's something like called like this mouthwash feeling, and it's like more tingly, is what I've heard.
I mean, let's start with the gum first.
Gum? You said gum over
mints?
mints.
Let's start with the gum. Like, let's not put the cart before the horse.
Okay. Well, they give...
Or as I like to say, put the cart before the whore. You know? Like, let's not put the cart before the
Well, they now make salivating mints specifically for this.
Really?
I had a friend buy them on
I was ahead of my time. I knew I was out of my time. Why did I not go on Shark Tank with this? Like, I don't understand. Why did I not go on Shark Tank?
Okay. All right. Well, you ready? You want to dive in these tips? You want to start with the BJ tips?
Yeah, let's
over here, or foreplay things?
Ooh.
What do you want?
Know what? Surprise me.
Surprise you?
Yeah.
All right. How about this? This is a section of the book I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
Do a lot of men have a nickname for their penis? Or like referring to it as something in bed? This book claims a good amount of men do. And gives examples.
Think straight guys do it because it's a bro thing that they learn to do from their friends. Because I've rarely been with men who are like, hey, why don't you come down and suck my Charlie? And I'm like, my name is Oscar. The last thing I wanted to do was a threesome. So, like, let's chill, right?
Yeah, you're right. It actually says the exact same thing in the book, that this is more common with straight men than gay ones. However, the nicknames objectify it rather than personify it. So maybe that's the difference. You're like, why would I name it Charlie? And they're like, I'm not naming it Charlie. They're naming it Warhead, apparently, and Louisville Slugger.
Is this gay men or straight men?
This is straight men. This is a survey he took.
Oh, this is...
But it's like they're not naming it names.
Were these also, like, were these men in Montana? Like, where?
I don't know. But apparently, I've never really heard of this, but I remember the only thing I know of it, from my perspective, was the How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days movie, where she's trying to lose the man and she gives it like a kind of feminine nickname. I forget what she calls it. I think it's like Princess something.
Sandra?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's really feminine, and he's not annoyed that she's nicknamed the dick. He's just annoyed about the name. But I was like, who is nicknaming dicks? I
don't know if I would want my dick to have a nickname. I mean, it already does. It's Oscar Maia. Oh! You see?
That's a fun pun.
That's
I like that one.
comedy.
That's a fun pun.
That's what it is.
Can we survey Straight Man Mike over here?
Yeah, survey Straight Man Mike.
Straight Man Mike, what do you think? Nicknaming dicks. Do men do it?
Never done it, but I am curious as to, did you say warthead? Because that
Warhead.
is a war. I think you said warthead. I was like, this is the worst possible name for a penis. What's a warthead?
No, but you don't know any friends?
I think like jokingly you might, but I've never in my life in bed been like, there's the old Billy boy.
Yeah,
Get this Billy club. That's never happened.
I feel like it's when you're talking in a group of friends joking around, and instead of saying my dick, you'll throw
I don't know.
something out there.
Which I think is actually gayer than just naming your penis. Because you're like, hey, you want to see my Charlie? And I'm like, that? Like that? You're literally, you've thought of another man's name to call your penis, which is inherently gayer.
Listen, no
than
offense.
just calling it dick.
Yeah, I mean, no offense. This is kind of how I feel about when people give dogs human names. I'm like, it's a dog. What are we doing?
Well, what name do you want to give them?
Give it a dog name.
What's a dog name?
Like my cousins have a dog that's black, has white on its chest and its paws, and they named it Tuxedo. That's fun.
I like that. That's cute.
And they call it Tux for short. It's cute.
Is Oscar a dog name or a human name?
That one's debatable a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit debatable.
Exactly.
Because of Oscar Mayer, like all the other brands.
Yeah, because I come up with, people come up to me and they're like, this is my dog Oscar. I'm like, you couldn't think of another name? You couldn't think of another name?
No, couldn't.
No.
Okay. All right. Let me get to some of these tips here. Okay. So we're starting at which the chapter? You know how to whistle, don't you? Is what this one's called. This one's all about blowjobs. Focusing on that chapter here. So we have BJ Basics. A common male misconception is that the fuller the lips, the better the blowjob.
Ugh.
We say any old lips will do. It's not the size, it's what you do with them. These BJ Basics are guaranteed to blow his mind as well as his horn. The key to a good blowjob exists just as much in your head as in your hands and mouth. He's allowing you to take control over the most sensitive and precious parts of his body. Deep down, he knows that you can knock him off in a nanosecond. Remember, his penis is your friend, and you'll want to give it as much attention as you would your very, very best friend. You'll have to show respect and concentrate big time on what you're doing. All right, ready? We cannot overemphasize the proper state of mind enough. He wants to feel that you are enthusiastically devoting your talents to making his penis happy, and that you're not just doing it because you had too much to drink. This activity requires your full attention. All right, here's the tip. Although many people would have you believe that the key to BJ's is sucking, his penis is no lollipop. The central action is to move the lips in an up and down or back and forth motion. What makes this act so delicious is that you can vary the pressure of your lips, take the penis out of your mouth, lick the sides and the top, and use your tongue and hands in a variety of ways that will deliver a scintillating series of sensations. True or false? Key to BJ's is not sucking.
You could have just referenced a porn.
What do you mean?
Like, he could have just referenced a porn to watch.
You think that's easier than reading this book?
Yeah.
Women are more likely to read this book than watch porn. You know that, right?
That's true.
Like when you were like, I watch gay porn, that's how I learned.
Isn't this directed towards... Oh, this is... Okay,
this is directed towards straight women.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, wait, why didn't she just put a... Why didn't she put... Okay.
Oh, just play a video clip on the pod?
Yeah, I mean, hello,
is that
why
what I'm
not?
supposed to do?
Here's the thing. I think that the most important thing is to, A, show enthusiasm. Like, if you don't like doing it, be upfront and honest with the man before you actually get into the sexual nature of things.
I should say, I don't really want to do this before I go down there?
I think you should say, it's not something I prefer. Because then, when you don't exude enthusiasm, he understands that what you're doing is you're actually making an effort. Versus if you didn't say anything, he would think, well, she just doesn't like my dick. There's something wrong. Yeah, what is she? She's not attracted to me. She doesn't like it. And then the guy starts going through emotions. So I think the most thing is be upfront and honest about like what you're into and what you're not into. If you're not a big dick sucker, then tell the guy. Just be like, yeah, you know, I enjoy it from time to time. It's not something I prefer. And I think that's where a lot of times communication breaks down between people who are going to have sex.
Yeah.
Like people need to say, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. Like I personally do not like fingers in my ass. I don't. I think it is the most annoying thing.
Like, are you a bottom or a top? Am I allowed to ask that?
I'm mostly a top. I'm 99%
All
top.
right. So that makes sense.
But I have tried with a few fingers in my ass, and I'm like, you're you're doing it like you're kneading dough. Like don't knead the dough.
Do you
like,
mean during head or just at any time?
At any time.
Anytime. Okay, but that would be something I think most people assume of gay men, that you would like that.
No, I don't.
No, I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
in general.
and that's the thing. It's like that's why I communicate that.
Right.
I tell people up front, I like this. I don't like this. You know, this is what I like. And so that's number one, is to convey your interest in the sucking of the dick. Number two is, if you're gonna suck a dick, go out, buy a cucumber, put a condom on the cucumber, and go to town. Cucumber. It's an easy. I don't know why they use the eggplant as a dick
That's
emoji.
Way too
I don't
wide.
understand that.
I mean,
it's way too big.
Yeah.
And I think that is false pretenses.
It's just more fun. It's colorful.
Right. I think a cucumber. Like, and don't get one of those long cucumbers. Just
Or get a long one. Practice.
Or get a long one.
Hey.
But get a, just a cucumber and go to town and practice using your hands, using your hands, using your tongue, smacking it against your face. Guys like that, right?
That's actually a tip later in here. I was going to talk about.
Guys like that. They like it when you take their dick and you smack it, and they're like, "Oh God, Daddy, that's a."
Okay, that might be depending on the person.
Right.
But.
And I think one of the hottest things is if you put both hands on the guy's thighs while you're going down on him. If he's sitting down in a sitting back position, while you're doing it, put both your hands on his thighs and clench them and feel it. Because I think that,
I was going
to
to
me,
say,
that's
do
hot.
light tickling.
Not tickling, just holding on to it.
Interesting.
Yeah, because then it shows enthusiasm. Versus, because like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put your hands in your hand, like here, and you're like, I don't know where my hands should go, and oh goodness, should I?
You want to know a trick I do?
What?
This is a trick to not focus as much. That sounds so bad, but like, it also avoids like gagging. Is I've been told to put your thumb in your fist and close your fist. But it's a weird thing it's because your brain is like not thinking about it.
Why?
I don't know. I read it once and it helps.
No, but what's wrong with gagging?
I mean, some people like it, some people don't, but it's more like for you, like, it's kind of a thing of like all of a sudden, if you think in your brain, there's a penis in my mouth, it's a little like, whoa. You gotta
That's
like not really
don't
think
like
about
penis.
it. No, it's not. We all have that thought.
What?
Because it's very like, I'm naturally a mouth breather, so I gotta like focus on breathing through my nose. Like, it's a whole thing. If you're really doing it, it's work.
You are looking at me and telling me that. Like, I don't know. I've had over 900 sexual partners.
Are you serious?
You don't think I don't know what it's like to have to give a head?
I know, it's work. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you're like in your head. It gets me out of my head. It's a trick I learned. It helped me.
Let me tell you something. First of all, that's why I say go with the cucumber. Because then you can be like, you'll know where your gag reflexes are.
Okay, true.
You'll practice and be like, oh, okay, I know I can put it in that wide, and I know. And then you can test your gag reflexes, right?
Yeah, but it's one of those things, like, if you haven't given head in a long time,
would you forget?
It's a little bit like, it's not fully like riding a bike, depending on the dick.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
I mean, when you haven't had 900 sexual partners, then it's not.
My God, do you not look at dick on the reg, Erica?
What? Look at it on the reg?
Like, you know what a penis looks like, right?
I know what it looks like.
Okay.
But the actual act of doing it, it's like I gotta be practicing it. It's like working out. I gotta be practicing with the cucumber at home if I'm not seeing anybody at the time.
Well, I mean,
keep it
yeah.
fresh.
Also, I think what helps is you can fantasize while maybe pleasuring yourself using that cucumber, and then think about
this just feeds your theory of gay men really love dick.
Oh God,
that's not pleasuring myself practicing blowjobs at home. Why is that?
Well, if you don't, it depends on the person. Like, if you love doing it, then I think. But I think if we're talking about learning how to give a blowjob, is using a cucumber.
We went to, when Molly was co-hosting with me, we went to a blowjob class. And we were very disappointed. The person did not do anything with their mouth in front of us on like a dildo or something. We thought that's what it was going to be.
Should I give a dildo? Should I give a BJ class?
And we were bummed. We showed up and it was a woman. We were like, we thought this would hopefully be a gay man.
You know what? I'm going to start doing BJ classes. I'm going to start doing BJ classes.
Bachelorette party idea.
Ooh.
I would hire you.
Wait, so where would I put that? Groupon? I don't think
I just add it to your website.
I don't think they'd let me. I don't think they'd
I mean,
let
it's a class. You could do one, or I don't hit up the Pleasure Trust. Maybe they'll let you host one.
Ooh, BJ classes for bachelorettes. I love that.
Now, there's a section here. Tips about starting with a soft dick. If someone is soft.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's nice? You think it's better?
I love it.
Looks exciting? Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's hot.
This is what they say. Say, if you're starting with, they call it Mr. Softy, you should have no trouble putting the whole thing in your mouth while you gently suck and lick.
Depends on who it is, but okay.
Okay. Okay, 900.
Yeah.
Don't start moving your mouth up and down until he's at least semi-erect. As with your hand job technique, making a ring around the base of the shaft will help him get hard quicker.
No.
And Mr. Softy will turn into Mr. Stiffy in no time.
No.
Don't agree with the base hand?
Nope. Leave your hands off the penis until you've gotten it fully erect. What you do to get a man excited, kiss it.
Kiss it.
Kiss around it.
Kiss it?
Kiss it. You're going to put it in your mouth. So you might as well just start with a little kiss it. Men
it's like foreplay
that.
the dick.
You're kind of like flirting with the penis.
Yeah.
Kiss it around, maybe lick a little bit. Listen, it's a man. And literally, no matter whether you put it in your mouth or you put your lips on it, within 10 seconds, he's going to be fully erect. So
hopefully,
try and flirt with the dick a little bit.
So you don't think guys get weird about it being soft and you going down there?
No. I think it's kind of hot.
Can we get straight man's opinion? Straight man's opinion?
I enjoy it because it's a nice surprise for them.
Oh.
They go, oh, what is this little thing? And then you're like 10 seconds later, you're like, oh, there it is.
Oh, for
it's
the girl.
It's a nice little bait and switch, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not, you don't feel weird at all if someone goes near flaccid penis.
No, not
like,
at all.
So let's say first time you're with a gal. Don't care. You know what I mean?
First time I'm with a gal, it's not going to be flaccid.
That's what I would assume.
The excitement will precede itself.
But this book doesn't say whether it's the first time or not.
It doesn't, but I'm saying I've been with men that they can't get hard and it seems to be a sensitive subject and it feels very like, let's ignore it and just like chill for a minute.
Well,
I think like me going down wouldn't make it better.
Actually, I think the difference is that like this may be a very unpopular belief. However, I think there might be something to it. Like women, a lot of guys are in their heads. So they want to make sure they're like, oh, is it clean? Is it right? Is it big enough for her? Is she going to enjoy it? What is she going to think? So if the girl is enthusiastic about doing those things and going down on a man, then I think she should go to town. Show him that you enjoy it.
Interesting. This is something though I've never been comfortable enough to do because I would assume they would be embarrassed that it's not hard yet.
Oh no.
Unless I've been with someone consistently.
Well, the thing is though,
wake up move.
Right, but the thing is though is that if you enjoy doing it, then if you enjoy doing it, then I would say do it. If you don't enjoy going down on a man, to get him hard from a flaccid state, I would say just put his hand on his penis, wrap it around like you're cupping a bicycle handle, and just do a little squeeze. Just a little squeeze. That sometimes works. Straight guy, yes or no? Are you?
I don't know. I mean, I've never been in a position to be.
You've never been cupped.
I've never been cupped to help myself. Is that what you're saying? Hand on hand, like holding hand on a hand on a penis?
No. Like if a girl is not comfortable going down on a guy, and maybe she doesn't want to do it right away while he's flaccid.
Sure.
To get him hard, maybe what she could do is she could kind of slide her hand down on the penis area and do a little cuppy cup, a little gropey grope.
Hand first is always the move.
Yeah, and then go into it.
Anyway, yeah.
See?
Okay.
I should have written this book.
I mean, you could write another version. You could be like, what he forgot.
Yeah. Look, what is it? Sex tips for a straight woman from a gay man. How about sex tips for straight women from a whore?
From a whore?
Yeah.
I mean, I would also read that.
Yeah. Because I feel like they know. Now, not to discredit this gay man, obviously, right? This gay man knows things. But like everybody, we're all different.
True. Okay. So how about there's a section here, basically before you put it in the mouth.
Oh, wow.
Any advice, or do you want to see if you're better than this man?
Well, I mean, it really depends. Like, if you're out on a night on the town, right? So there's kind of like a few scenarios. If you're on a date and you know he's showered and you're ready to go, then, you know, I would say go to town. If the guy should be smart and responsible enough to say, you know what, let me go to the bathroom and freshen up first and then come back. But I always say, kind of like go down there. See, the thing with kissing it is then you can kind of get a sense of if it's ready or not to be put in your mouth.
Okay. But you say lick it first at least.
Kiss it, lick it, and then if you don't feel like it's maybe appropriately ready, then be like, go wash your dick.
Go wash it?
Go wash it.
Wash it.
Go wash your
you
dick.
Think washing it is what's going to...
Yeah, go wash your dick. Get that thing get it nice and clean.
Do you think that's a problem? Is it not clean? Why is it not good enough?
Well, sometimes, I mean, if you go down on a guy and that's why it comes back to the scenarios. Like, if you're out a night on the town and you're dancing and you're doing this and you don't care, then go to town. But like, if you go down there and maybe it's not the freshest, then I would say tell him to go wash it. I mean, there are certain ethnicities where sometimes, you know.
I feel like this might be a gay man's thing. I don't think a straight man's thinking about if his dick is clean.
It should be.
Straight man opinion? What do we got? Do you think straight men are generally being like, hey, is my dick clean before she goes down there?
I can only speak for myself, and 100%. I think
100%
about it
you think
constantly.
About it? Really?
Every minute of the day, I'm wondering, like, how long do I have before I have to take a shower before it becomes a problem?
Interesting.
That could just be me because I'm a bigger guy, so I just assume the worst always.
Okay.
So I'm constantly... I got lotions. I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got gear to make sure that it's consistent.
Yeah, don't use baby powder.
No.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting because I feel like most guys are not concerned with cleanliness as their number
I would
one.
say 20 years ago, no. Now, my God. Straight guys use more feminine products than women do.
Okay.
And not like feminine, but like they do it where it's like they really want to take care of themselves down there.
I mean, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I certainly
That's why I'm like,
it.
listen, if you go down and you're like, tell him to go wash it. He'll oblige. Because I'll tell you, what man is going to say no to a woman who's enthusiastic about giving a blowjob? I don't know.
I wouldn't think
Maybe
so.
He's got a secret.
Okay. All right, so here's the advice it gives. It says, lick the whole tip, then use your tongue to lick up and down the sides. Now it should be slick enough to slide into your mouth easily. Covering your teeth with your lips and keeping your mouth taut, glide the head inside and lick the sensitive spot underneath with both the tip and the flat part of your tongue. Amateurs may think they should use a snake-like quickie lick, but your lick should be more like what you would use on your favorite flavor ice cream cone. I feel like this is something I didn't really know until I got older, of like you would just kind of go and start, but it also is like comfortability with it.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's really like the size of the dick determines how well you put it in your mouth and what you do with it.
True.
You know? But I'm always a fan of licking. I think a lick is a lickety split is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the tips I gave actually as partly foreplay or a break while you're giving head, if you need a little break, is switching to your hands, but then using like licking and playing with the like parts where it's like leg, basically the groin where the leg meets the hip, like kissing around there, doing some like light touchy stuff elsewhere.
The balls always help.
The balls.
But to make sure they also smell good too.
Well, I would hope so. That's usually the part that smells, if anything smells.
Yeah. There's a musty, moldy smell sometimes.
Can I ask a technical question about the balls?
Yes.
Okay, when someone says, suck my balls, do they literally mean suck the ball, or is it more of a licking? It doesn't actually mean put the thing in your mouth. Well. Or does it depend?
Depends. Try start with the ball in your mouth, and then if you don't hear anything, keep going. Keep going. And if you do hear something, then just go to a licking motion. Trust me, men will tell you.
I mean, some people though are kind of like pleasers and they don't want to interrupt or mess anything up. But I mean, that's always, I've debated that with friends when they're like, "Do you put the ball in your mouth? Is it just licking the ball?"
You put the ball in your mouth.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Right. But then some
Try
people
and get it in there.
Some freak out. You go anywhere near the balls.
Ugh, people People are so prudes.
I know, but it's like you said, though. I guess they'll say something.
It's not like you can detach the ball sack from the penis during sex. And I feel like people think you can. They'll be like, hold on, let me just put this to the side.
I thought, well, isn't it just the most sensitive part on a guy? No?
No.
What would
the
you
most
say is-
sensitive part on a man is the tip of the penis. That is the most
Okay, yeah, that
sensitive
does make
part.
sense.
That's the most sensitive part.
Mm.
That's where you feel the teeth. Am I wrong? I'm right on this.
No,
one.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not coming at you.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a little bit of advice here for uncircumcised penises. Do you
Shower.
just shower before?
Make sure. Make sure. You know what it is those are the ones that are a little bit more prone to, needs a little extra care.
Yeah. I've dated people uncircumcised, got BV a couple times.
So
I'm
I
not
always,
saying that's because of it, but could be.
So the thing with it, the thing
Not
with that
against
is when you're
uncircumcised
with a
dicks.
guy, you should always make sure that he is consistently, like if you're with someone who's uncircumcised, you should know his routine for how he keeps his penis clean.
I should know the routine.
You should. You should kind of know because you're going to want to know, like, is he one where he goes and, kind of washes the rim after he pees? Or is he kind of one that just gets up in the morning and goes out the door and then doesn't wash until the next day? You're going to kind of want to know a little bit.
But you feel like that's okay to ask?
Well, it's always, listen, if you're going to be sexual, you'd be like, what's this routine?
I don't know.
See, the problem with people.
You cut? Uncut?
I'm circumcised.
Yeah.
I was circumcised when I was 9. The problem,
Damn.
I know. The problem
Welcome
with
to America.
Yeah, I
Shit.
know, right? The problem with people is that they don't communicate what they like. They'll communicate every single detail down to what they like in their iced coffee, but they will not detail what they like sexually.
Do you feel this
And
way with gay
that's-
men as well? Or
No,
just
because gay men have apps to tell each other what they like
yeah.
prior to hooking up. And that's what straight people don't have. Straight people don't have anything to experiment or express what they like sexually, except for DMs, and then it gets really weird. Oh my God, oh my God. And he's like, oh man, sure. No, tell people. If you go on Grindr and you look down, you will notice that everybody basically tells you what they like. I like oral, I like anal, I like this, I like my top, I'm a bottom. I'm into fisting, I'm into water sports, I'm into this, I'm into that. Like, it's very self-explanatory. And then you're like, oh, okay, I like that. No, I don't like that.
Okay, but here's the thing that's hard, and this is an advantage for gay men, right? You both have dicks. So you go down on dicks, and you could know exactly, like, when you're trying to reference what you want to another man, you know exactly what to say and how to say it and what to do. Whereas me, I've had guys, especially with going down, they'll be great, but if you said to me, like, what are they doing? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I can't see what's going on. I don't go down on people. So, like, that's where it gets a little difficult if you want to get, like, technical.
I mean, is sex
I'm not, like, trying to argue with it. I'm just saying.
I know, but let me ask you something. Is sex supposed to be technical? Or is it supposed to be just fun?
It makes me think of, Taylor Thompson has a great bit about it, of, like, a guy doing something and you're like, I just want them to call a different guy and be like, ask him what he did. Because it's like, I don't know. I can't see fully what's going on down there. Or you might have this. I'm someone, I've never been in a super wrong relationship. So there's plenty of sexual stuff like I haven't done. Not that I'm opposed to doing it, but I've never even tried it, right? So if someone was to be like, give me a list of everything you like to do or blah, blah, I'm like, I almost feel like, well, I can give you a list of stuff I haven't done. And so that'll just be maybe a conversation or give me a heads up if you want to try that situation.
I mean, like, I think that's good, especially if you're in a relationship. Like, I think it's important to express what you like and what you don't like, because if you just consistently do the same old thing, sometimes sex can get boring. But if you like, say, public, or if you like, water sports, if you like nipple play, or if you like S&M, or you like, I think it's very important to keep that lines of communication open. Also, straight people just need to relax and have more fun sex. I think if straight people had more sex, there'd be a lot less problems in this one.
Oh God,
yeah.
That's
oh
the
God.
problem.
Yeah, I think you guys
people aren't doing it enough?
I don't think straight people have enough sex.
No?
No, not one bit. Might I just point out that all the problems in the world have come from heterosexuals?
Oh, and women, you're saying? Not heterosexual men, just...
No, just
all of
heterosexuals
us.
in general.
Just Elizabeth Holmes and just everybody fucking it up.
I will say it is more of straight men, but, women, you do have something to add.
Something?
Yeah. You have something to add. I'm not gonna lie, but when was the last time you saw gay people start a world war? I'm just saying, maybe at the Winter Olympics ice skating division. Possibly.
Okay. All right.
However,
fair enough.
I think straight people need to have more sex.
I mean, I'm not arguing with you.
I love how Erica's just like, well, yeah, maybe. All right.
It's just, I'm not going to get into details. I'll let you have your theory. It's fine. Okay. Do we know what time we're at?
36.
36. Okay. You want to do a couple little tips here with blowjobs? Some extra ones? Okay. One that you already mentioned, they call it dick whipping. It says, don't worry, we're not talking about leather crops here. Perhaps a better term might be dick slapping, although it sounds pretty intimidating too. The movement is simply this. As you slide his shaft out of your mouth, flick his penis against your cheek or neck for a couple of gentle, and we mean gentle, slaps. Try it a little bit harder if he seems to enjoy it. The point of this is not that it's, quote, rough sex or anything. It's simply another sensation that will feel good and round out your best blowjob technique. It also gives you the chance to breathe and recoup for your next round of oral action. So
Just
you find most men
just
like
the cheeks.
this.
Stick away from the neck.
But it's literally like a little slap?
Yeah, just take the dick out, just go a little bit, Like if you think about it, like you take the dick out and you're just like...
Just that?
Yeah, and then you look at him in the eyes and you're like, ah.
See, this is where it gets hard. Is like doing something like that, I don't think my face would look like that.
Have you
I'd be
tried?
like, this feels dumb.
Have you tried?
No, I've never done it.
All right, then try it.
But it's like, if I know how my face will look, I think it will ruin it.
Don't be a pessimist.
Don't be a
Don't be a pessimist. Be an optimist. Be like, I am going to look good doing this.
But you know what I'm saying? Because if
Maybe
it's all
even
about
give him like when you're down there
if I
and
don't
you're
have
doing
it in me,
if you're doing it, just give him a little wink.
wink.
Yeah,
Wink?
yeah, do a little wink.
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Straight dudes, Mike, they into this? Have you had
the neck
this?
thing I've never in my life heard, and I feel like I've seen and heard it all. The neck one doesn't make any sense to
Did
me.
you do the same thing but on your neck?
The cheek thing, yeah, absolutely.
That's
a
cool?
good time, but not
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never
that's a
had
fun
this.
one, and there's no good face, so don't worry about that. There's zero good face that's going to come out of that. It's not. And if anyone's looking at your face going, "What's that face all about?" That person's a loser. Get rid of him immediately.
Most of the time, the guy's eyes are probably going to be closed.
Closed. with that part, dick slapping, then that's when they close their eyes? Or that's part
No,
of the
because
experience of
if
seeing
you
it?
think about it, the eyes are going to be closed from the pleasure. So when you take it out, by the time you've slapped once, his eyes are going to be back open. So you've already done it. So just do it
Okay.
another time, and then you're good.
Because, okay, this is a part that's not in the book, but we talked about this on the Patreon, about putting, you don't have to deal with this, but I guess men that have longer hair do, is putting your hair up before going down or not. Because often most women do, I call it the curtain, where they like overlay their hair, so like you can't see what's happening. But it's more so, it's like, because if you're self-conscious, you don't want them to see what's going on. But every man is like, put the hair up, we want to see it.
Yeah, put the hair up.
But for me, that's a like, if I like you and I'm into you, and I feel like you've earned it, I put the hair up. But there's sometimes where you're like,
do you do it when they haven't earned it, Erica?
It's not haven't earned it. It's like a mix of, that, but also just when I know I don't have the super enthusiasm. It's not like my skills change.
So you think putting your hair in front of it is going to...
It's just the thing of, you have that moment, you go, I don't want them to see.
So then just make them stand.
Like, I don't want them to see me roll my eyes at some point. You know what I
so
mean?
then just make them stand.
They can still see when
Nope.
they stand.
Not usually.
No?
Nope.
You can't see from when you stand?
Usually if I'm looking down,
Or you can't
I'm not going
see
to be like this,
facial
but I'm probably
expression.
just going to look down a little bit, see she's going down.
Yeah, I guess you can't fully see the face is what you mean. Okay.
Only when you're lying down like
I understand.
this.
All
you can
right.
see the,
Okay, here's one I have heard of. Hummers. A hummer is another light sensation that he will enjoy. A hummer is really just a moan or a hum during the BJ, which will create a slight vibration in your throat and in turn on his penis. We're not saying you need to belt out 4 bars of Don't Cry For Me Argentina during sex. Just a low hum or moan in your throat will do nicely. Try changing the pitch of your hum to vary the sensation. Excuse me. Have you hummed? Do you think this is great? Does much? Not really?
I think they should just call it moaning. Don't hum.
Well, it's,
Don't
it
hum.
makes the same vibration. That's
No,
the
just
point.
moan. Oh.
Moaning in
That's not humming. That's moaning. You stick the bottle of water in your mouth. You put it in your and that's not humming. That's moaning. You're literally moaning.
Well, you can just hum. I've just hummed. It's not moaning.
What are you
they
gonna
don't really
hum?
hear it.
You gonna hum Happy Birthday to him?
Whatever.
Don't hum.
I don't hum a song.
Don't hum.
It just makes a little
moan.
Moan. I feel like that takes it to another level. I understand it would be better.
You humming,
but
he's
it's
gonna
the
be
same
like,
sensation.
what is that sound? Like, are you okay?
If he asked me, I'd just be like,
but
I read it in a book.
It'll be consistent with how you moan throughout the experience.
I guess. But the moan is tough for me because it just feels like you're faking a moan.
Do you like sex, Erica?
I do like sex, but I was supposed to fake moan going down.
After this conversation, you seem quite annoyed by the whole experience. I'm not gonna lie. She's like, really? You want me to do that? I don't want. What do I have to? I have to put it on my mouth. I don't know if I can.
You just said people should do what they want to do. It's not that I don't like sex,
but I mean, there's at least some enthusiasm from some people. I mean, you're like,
I'm just, it's just.
I feel like when
I'm
you
very
meet,
team don't fake it, so it's weird to be like, you got to make the moan sound. I'm like, well,
I love it, but I also feel like you provide a PowerPoint slide of what sex is going to be like to guys when you go out, like when you go with them. You're like,
that's
here
your
you go.
advice.
This is what it is.
That's
this is what I do. If you want extra, see index.
But that's your advice. You just said we should tell everyone exactly what we want, which I don't do that.
Yeah, but I'm like, you sound like you would do it in a literal way, where you're like, here's a printed out PowerPoint presentation. They'd be like,
listen, I'd be classy about it. I'd make a Google Doc and I would just share it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
They could read it privately.
Just do it privately.
Not in front of
me. Yeah. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. If you told guys, here's a Google Doc, take a look.
Here's what's okay.
Yeah.
See if I update it.
I mean, they could put that in their, Hinge
You just
profile.
make notes after every session. You're like, in this, don't do that shit again.
I mean, if you think about it, you put it in your Hinge profile. You say, here's a link to the things. Here's a link to the things that I like sexually. And then they just show up on that, and you're like,
well, that's
wow.
We straight people. We can't do that. If you're actually trying to date on dating apps, you can't be super sexual like that.
Why?
Because then that just gets you people that just want to hook up.
I mean, welcome to homosexuality.
I know. Welcome to Grindr. But you gotta. Nah, I wouldn't give that advice to be sexual. For if you're trying to date, if you are trying to just hook up,
then
do that.
You know what? Maybe you need to create an app for straight people to hook up.
That's every app. They're all hookup apps.
Why did you just say that?
But they're all hookup apps, technically. They're all technically hookup apps, but it just depends what you're there for. So you have to present what you're there for.
Maybe dating apps would be less of hookup apps if there was a hookup app.
No, see, it just doesn't work because it always gets. No matter what app exists, if there are women on it, there will be men on it that just want to hook up, for sure.
Actually, I think the contrary. I think if you created a hookup app for heterosexual people, you would actually have more people on that, and the people who are on Hinge would be just looking for dates.
But there already are those apps. There's like Field. You ever heard of that?
What's Field?
F-E-E-L-D.
No.
It's like it's very pro like kink. There are a lot of straight men that are on it that are just like open to threesomes with two ladies, of course. But
you're like, wow.
But it's designed for like
florals for spring, groundbreaking.
Like you don't have to be straight to be on it, but it is the one that most straight people use that are into more kinky sex. That it is like destigmatized that they will literally list what they want. Like I'm a dom, I'm a sub, I like choking, whatever.
Yeah, sounds great.
And fun fact about this app: there's a feature where you can pay that people will only see you that were people that you like swiped right on and liked, specifically to like avoid like if you see people that you know, like you don't want them to see that you're on the app.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, right.
Smart.
Not bad. Anyway, but yeah, there's that. That's a hookup one. Kink friendly. Okay, last one. We kind of mentioned this. Tinglers. The tingler requires a little advanced work because you'll need a supply of cinnamon or minty mouthwash nearby. Put a small amount in your mouth. Remember that you don't want to end up swallowing it. As you go back down on him, release the mouthwash slowly so that it drips down his shaft. The tingly sensation will drive him wild and has the added bonus of preventing, oh, Jesus, dick breath. I don't even know that's a thing. When you move back to kiss him on the lips. And then another tip is if you have a handy glass of water with ice, it will add another super sensation. During one of your sips in between, take an ice cube in your mouth. When you go back down on him, the combination of cold ice and warmth of your mouth will drive him to ecstasy. So, thoughts on this? Ice. What do you think about the ice? Is that a move? You ever done that? You're rolling your eyes.
Both of these sound absolutely asinine.
Really? Bad?
Absolute.
The ice bad?
me
I've
ask
heard
you
many people
something.
do the ice.
Let me ask you something. You put the mouthwash in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, let's say 3 or 4 seconds, does it start to burn? Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Now you're going to go down on a man's most sensitive part with mouthwash in your mouth?
Well, that part I didn't agree with having it in your mouth going down. I understand the before.
Okay,
tingly.
that's a kink.
That's a kink?
That's a kink.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
All right. Not before,
Chew
though?
gum. No, don't do it.
Not before.
Well, I mean, if you want to make your mouth smell fresh, then yeah, do it. But don't hold it in your mouth and then go down on him.
Okay.
That sounds awful. It sounds absolutely hideous. Straight guy Mike, yes or no?
Ice is a party, but I wouldn't say yes to the gum. I'm the opposite.
You mean
camp.
the mouthwash?
Mouthwash, I would say, is a no-go, but ice is a good time. Like for a second or two, you're not trying to get frostbite, but it's a nice
cool.
temperature change. It's a good time no matter what.
Yeah.
I would
Just
say
gotta
go
go back
with
to
the
warm.
ice. Go with the ice. Right.
Well, I've read the tip not to have it in your mouth going down, but to like secretly put ice in your mouth for like a minute before hooking up.
Crushed ice.
Then when you go, but it gives like a little cooling.
Right, but crushed ice. Not
Crushed
a whole
ice.
ice cube. Because where are you going to spit it out before you go down on him?
Well, it's
In your
you do
hand?
the whole thing before. That's what I'm saying. I've read that.
Oh, yeah, but
I
that
have heard of
ice
people having
doesn't
a
even
cube.
last that long in your mouth.
I know. That's the point. Makes it a little fun. No? Not a fan?
I mean,
It's just funny. You're like, ice is like amateur hour to you.
ice is like, yeah, I guess, okay. I don't know. I'm like, love to suck the dick first before we start getting into chemistry. You know what I mean? Am I wrong here?
No. This is another thing I knew of someone doing, not in this book. They put a like a Jolly Rancher type of candy in their mouth while going down, and claimed it added an extra sensation, a feeling.
Did it?
That's what they claimed.
Now
Have you
you
ever
have a
had this?
possibility of gagging on 2 things
True.
versus 1.
True. So you wouldn't recommend that either?
No.
Mike, have you ever had this type of thing?
It sounds like a sticky mess. I don't want anything.
True.
part
I
of
didn't
that.
even think of the sticky part.
It just sounds horrible.
Listen.
But same with mint in your mouth, I would assume?
let me-
Weird?
I'm going to say this. Ladies.
I'm no mint.
No mint.
No mint.
nothing.
Ladies, let me tell you something. Gum beforehand. Get your mouth nice and juicy. Maybe put 5 or 6 pieces in there. Get that nice and juicy. Spit that shit out and go to town. That's how you do it.
All right.
You got the mintiness, and then you've got the saliva. Give them a sloppy mop and be on your way.
Okay.
It's
One last thing that this book claims. A note on swallowing.
okay. So for him, I'm glad he wrote this book. There's a lot of good points in it, but this is just my opinion. So to Dan
Daniel.
Anderson, good job. Congrats and kudos to writing this. As a different gay man, I think differently, but I respect your opinions.
Hey, it's giving people ideas of at least new stuff to try.
I think it's absolutely
straight
great.
people
I think that's giving it.
to have more
It's
sex.
it's stuff. You got to experiment.
Okay. Here's a claim he makes.
Mm-hmm.
Gay men never swallow.
Is this a gay man? Is this a gay man? This is not a gay man. This is a bisexual man who wrote this book. This is not a gay man. If that's what he says, this is not a gay man who
That's what he
wrote this.
claims.
No.
What he
Are you
claims.
nuts? Has he only been with one homosexual who didn't swallow?
I don't know.
Get out of it. Give me that book.
He said may not be true for 100% of the time, but the most part they don't.
No. Throw it in the trash. No. Rip that chapter out and throw it in the trash. Gay men love swallowing.
He
Now-
claims they like seeing the man ejaculate. That's
Now,
why they don't.
What I will say is, do they like seeing the man ejaculate onto their lips, in their tongue, and then swallow? Yes. But
Oh.
they swallow.
No, he doesn't specify. He just
Right.
says they don't swallow.
They do swallow. That is a false statement.
I couldn't believe that part when I read the book. I feel like
No,
most
gay
people
men
are out here
love
swallowing.
There's a whole thing. Like,
All right.
I would say 7 out of 10 times men love swallowing.
Okay, I was gonna say for you, if someone goes down on you, does it make it better swallowing? Does it really make a big difference?
Nah, it doesn't make a big difference.
Right?
Doesn't make a difference.
Is it-
I have only swallowed once.
Interesting. I like how you just claimed that, and then you're like, we're swallowing. You're like, I mean, I've only done it once.
Oh, yeah, I've only swallowed
That's
once.
disgusting. But gay men are swallowing.
See, it's part of my preferences.
It's fine.
And I tell people that I'm not a big fan of the swallow.
Okay.
Like, I will do the work. For me, think it's hotter to see or like feel it on the lips and tongue and stuff like that. But to say that gay men don't swallow as a blanket statement is false.
Big claim. Okay, well, this is the advice it gives for women because it is a touchy subject. Swallowing for women is a thorny issue. Some straight men make a big deal out of it, which is true, but that seems inconsequential to us. Without getting into a whole big discussion on the power politics of swallowing, we're here to tell you that you should never do anything you don't want to do. If you choose to swallow, that's your decision. If you choose not to, then you certainly have nothing to apologize for, especially since you have just given him the most spectacular, mind-blowing BJ he's ever had.
Here's a piece of advice. If this is someone you're going to date or you're going to be hooking up with on a regular, the first time you go down on him, watch him ejaculate. See how much he ejaculates.
Is that always consistent, though? I feel like that's not always consistent.
It is. It is.
Mike,
I mean, unless they've literally masturbated 7 times the day before, it is usually consistent.
I've dated the same person and felt it was inconsistent.
It's give or take. It just depends.
Depends?
Depends on the day. Yeah, I would say it's 50-50.
Like if he was just on a family vacation for a week, sharing a room with someone, like his brother or some shit, comes back from that vacation, probably more, would we guess? Is that like an accurate?
Are you going to hook up with someone who just did that?
I'm just saying, like, say he was on a family vacation, couldn't masturbate for a week, comes home, you see him the night he comes home. Probably more.
He did. He did masturbate.
Oh, yeah, he did. Of course he masturbated. I say, look at the guy, see how much he comes first. See how much he ejaculates. And then be like, all right, maybe I'll do it. Because then you know what to expect.
So for you,
because I think what happens is girls do it. Girls, women, whatever. They do it, and they're like, it's gross, I don't know what to expect. No, you watch it come out first, and then you do it.
Fair. So for you, it makes no difference if someone swallows or not.
It's like riding a bicycle. You
Mike,
watch someone do it, and then you try it.
I'm curious. Mike, straight man opinion, what do you think?
Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
One way or the other. Honestly, could care less.
I feel like most guys, once it happens, literally like hand you something to spit in. Like they're almost like not even expecting you to do it. Which is considerate. It's nice.
I would say, you know what I would say? Tell them you want it.
Tell me, get that cup away from me?
Smack it out of their hand.
You know what you do? You tell them. Be like, yeah, I want to swallow that. Yeah, I want to fucking swallow that.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Well,
if you cuss, straight men love that. Am I wrong? Straight men love when you fucking cuss. If you say, oh, fuck yeah, give me that fucking cum. That's it. Yeah,
I'm gonna swallow. Intensifies the dirty talk.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna swallow that. And then the guy will be like, oh, and then you know.
That's your biggest dirty talk trick. Throw the F word in there.
I've watched smadgins of porn, and I actually watch straight porn, and I've watched both amateur straight porn and professional straight porn. Okay. And I will say, 9 times out of 10, the amateur straight porn, the girls rarely say anything. And I think it behooves sometimes, in certain instances, I think it behooves a little dirty talk. I mean, if you're ashamed of sex, or if you're ashamed of dirty sex, but if you're ashamed of dirty talking, but you're not ashamed of sex, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
You know, you can, it's like, no, you got to be like, you got to give him the, you know, like if he's behind you or if he's in front of you or whatever style, you know, give him a little of the dirt. Men love that. Men love dirty talk. It's hot.
I don't think it's everyone and all dirty talk. I think some people are a little, because here's where I think it comes in. If you're not confident in yourself in dirty talking and never feel like you know what to say, when someone dirty talks you kind of panic. That's more what it is. It's not that you don't like hearing whatever they have to say. It's more the like, oh, I got to like keep up with this.
So then come up with a script.
Oh yeah, we got 2 episodes on dirty talk. We give examples.
Yeah,
so
come up with a script.
Go back and listen to those, guys.
Yeah, come back with a script and say, this is the stuff that I'm going to say during sex. Like, ooh, yes.
Couple lines.
Yeah, a couple lines. And memorize those lines.
I've done it. I'm not going to lie.
There you go.
You want to be a little prepared going in sometimes.
I should have just written the book.
That's not in this book. That's a great tip. Write a book. Start a class, Oscar.
I am going to start a class on sex.
Maybe I'll have you come on the Patreon. I'd pay you to do a blowjob class for everybody.
I'll do it. Let's do it.
Would you do that?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll have you come on. I think they'd like that. I'll ask the Patreon gang what they think.
Yeah.
So
I would be happy to show them. We'll have a good time. It'll be great. I'll give them some tips. And because let me tell you something, just to put it out there, I've never had any complaints.
Never had any complaints.
No.
There you go.
Never
You
had
heard it
any
here
complaints.
first.
I mean, I do have like nice teeth, so they have interfered once in a while. But I mean, you know, statistically speaking, you know, if I've given, say, 1,000 blowjobs and 10 of them have included teeth, maybe it wasn't my fault. Maybe it was just the person was too big.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. All right. Well, I want to thank you, first of all, for coming on to the show. Guys, follow Oscar at It's Oscar Aydin, Aydin, on Instagram. And on Twitter, I have Gay DHD. Great handle. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Great time talking to you. And we got to do that Patreon thing.
Yeah, we got to do it. I think it'll be a great idea. Thanks for having me. I love this.
Thank you for doing this. And guys, if you want to stay tuned, at the end of this episode, we'll have a Patreon preview for you. And you can follow us at Shooters Gotta Shoot Pod. And I'm at Sperica with 2 A's. We will see y'all next week. Bye. Dope. Thank you.